All right, we are going to try to get stuff set up. Hey, Dragon Dancer, how's it going? It's been short weekend. I don't know where Rook went. I'm still waiting for him to come back. And the topic for today that's on there is not accurate. So, somewhere in this house there is a Rook. And I just found a chewed up deck. One of my most beautiful decks, chewed up, that I cannot get a replacement for. But dogs will dog. Still mad though, VG. So mad at you. Kelvin, good morning. Tabate, good morning to you too. Our internet is having some funk today. We've had a lot of lags, a lot of missed frames getting set up this morning. That's why we're a little bit late, but seems to have resolved. Probably a result of us going through and getting rid of a lot of, oh shit, sorry. The charcoal's popping at me. Of making some changes. We are starting to minimize our bills, cutting down on cable, cutting down on all those expenses and stuff, and starting to kind of realign for a few things. Namaste, Bjorn. Hail. Love to you and yours as well. We're going to do our normal circle if Rook ever shows up. He might not. He might not. I mean, I don't know. He's got to figure out how to get a drink of some sort in here. Considering. I don't know. What do you think? Our wine glasses are still in here. Bjorn, how's it going? Dragon Dancer Manny, sorry I missed you. How are you? How's everybody? We're doing good this morning. We do have plenty of wine.
Is that what you like?
No, I think we're good.
Huh?
It's fine. It's fine. Good. I am jealous, Dragon Dancer. Yes, man, it was great to see you. I'm glad we could come out. Sorry it was so short. Yeah, we can all hate on Dragon Dancer a little bit for going to a Highland concert and not making sure that all of us got to go with her. So that's a thing. I mean, I guess I could let it go, but I am jealous. So jealous. I bet. Haha. What? Okay. So we I don't even know what we're going to talk about today. We have felt, at least I have, I don't know, I'm not speak for Rook, he'll speak when he comes in, but we have definitely been feeling, which I think everybody has, the shift of all things. But some very, very positive energy engagements, at least in my opinion. I don't know what it is, but it's just been, things seem to have been, you didn't shake it this time, did you?
Yeah.
Good.
It's probably very sedimenty.
Yeah, it is if you shake it. Did you rinse these out? Okay, well that's probably why. They were still dirty from last week. So the cups were still dirty from 2 weeks ago. But that's okay.
You always do something wrong.
Yeah, you do.
It's not good enough. I shouldn't even be alive. Just kidding.
Please don't say that on stream.
That wasn't
That is
funny.
inappropriate.
It was a joke.
Not funny. Well, speaking of good energy,
What? Oh, I arrive. I'm a positive force.
didn't even rinse them? Blech. There's congealed stuff in the bottom.
Cheers.
Camera's not on yet. They can't see if I hit you. They can only hear it. But I didn't, even though you flinched like I have. So rude. So rude, y'all. Anyway, I kid. I do think we should call the circle, though. I don't, if you have your thing. Hopefully. Even though you wrote all over. I need to print some new ones out. We're gonna get our little circle going and call the coinals. And,
Thank you, Dragon. Dragon loves me.
yeah, the shift has, there's been a shift. Earth energy somehow has, well, not somehow, but we can see it, and I think a lot of it does have to do with dragon and dragon energy. But the Earth has resettled in a few things, especially even me personally. My body feels more, and granted, we're making efforts to do it, but aligning with what's going on right now, oh yeah, things have changed. Forza the Veta. All right, I'm starting this time. You always start.
All right. That's what I was going to suggest.
Oh, well, then you can start.
That you start.
You can start.
Oh, go ahead.
No,
What is going on?
because you suggested it.
Are you
can do
kidding me? Wow.
All right.
Oh, my God.
I've only had 3 hours of sleep.
Me too.
All right, guys and gals and everybody. Hear me, friends and ancestors from the East. Hear my voice carried on the air of clarity and truth. Watch over us as we cast our circle of safety and love.
See me,
V.
friends and ancestors from the South. See my flame of passion and creation seared into the energy of the universe. Watch over us as we cast our circle of limitless possibility.
Feel me, friends and ancestors from the West. Feel my love, fear, sadness, and joy washed into the waters of the river of compassion. Watch over us as we cast our circle of connection and motion.
Reach me, friends and ancestors from the North. Reach my feet and hands, the earth in my toes and work of my fingers. Watch over us as we cast our circle of the earth.
Know me, friends and ancestors from the ether. Know my intent, know my heart, and know my spirit. Watch over us as we ask you all to join us in perfect love and perfect trust.
Hear, see, feel, reach,
And know
that this circle is safe, this circle is sacred, and this circle is cast.
and smoky.
Very smoky.
Get over it. Ah, I'm
But I
so
like
tired of it.
Tired of what, exactly? What? This is...
Hi, how's everybody doing? Oh, they could hear that whole thing.
Yeah, they could.
Yeah,
Which I'm actually glad they could.
Alright, so let's catch up real quick. Shut up. Bjorn heavily studying Eastern philosophy and practices or ancient systems of thought. Love that. Do you have a good example of something just maybe that we would know or could follow in? Like, for example, well, I am very uneducated when it comes to specific details about religion. I only know my own. I'm very limited. It is also something we're trying to expand by reading all these different things. For example, reading all about Satanism and realizing I'm not satanic, right? Or knew that probably going in, but
100%.
knowing though that I am probably much more left-hand path than I thought before.
Definitely that.
The Kybalion is something that I go back to a lot because I have really not just read it, but gone back through it multiple times and applied it in different ways and sought out different teachings on that. So anything, any ideas on that would be kind of neat. Anything specific.
Good morning,
Or
Kelvin.
a topic maybe we could look up.
Are you educable?
I am, are you?
Yes. Well, depends on if I'm interested.
Dragon Dancer, yes, with dragons. Mystic. I think honestly, a couple of things that Joy has said kind of brought it up initially, and then last weekend with the lovely engagement was really cool. I think that kind of got it kicked off for me because after that, I kind of came home. I remember coming in the door and saying, "The dragons are awake," because we have the two dragons that Joy birthed us.
Yeah.
As you walk in our door on our ancestor altar, or above our ancestor altar, that is, and they're the highest point in our house, or they're up in the higher points of our house, so they're kind of like overseeing and looking over. So that would be quite interesting.
Good morning, Kelvin. Good morning, Furry.
Morning.
Tao Te Ching.
Lao Tzu's Tao Te Ching. Never heard of it. We'll have to look at that.
I like to read about a lot of things.
I do have a book on something like that, but it's freaking huge. And I haven't got through it yet because I just finished. I'm done with all of LaVey, Gilmore, Legabord, and all those books. I don't have any left that I would like to read. There's probably a few Michael Ford I probably will read here and there. And maybe some more definitely more Don Webb because I love him. But right now I'm currently reading Dolores Cannon's The Custodians.
I really want to hear about that book. I'm going to get back into our reading and discussion that we haven't done in a minute.
Reading and discussion.
Look about what we've been doing together. We
did it every 2 weeks. We did it last week.
Yeah.
Pretty intensely.
We did, actually, yeah.
I know.
But I'm interested in that book you're reading, The Custodians. Dolores Cannon.
I really like
Yes.
it. It's different than what I've been reading. It's not based on religious kind of, things. It's a different style of book, which I'm excited about because that's letting me kind of focus in some other things, this particular book is very UFO oriented. That's what the custodians are. They're the aliens. And it's basically Dolores Cannon, the late Dolores Cannon. She's passed away not too long ago, but her family kind of continues her legacy, has some pretty significant beliefs about how the universe works and how all those things go. And a lot of it is influenced by aliens and her belief that aliens' relationship to us is as custodian, which I thought was really strange at first, and I'm starting to learn maybe it's not too far out of an idea. So pretty cool there. I am no clue what either of those are, so we're going to have to write those down. Sun Tzu, The Art of War. Book of Five Rings. I'm not sure about that one either. But yeah, I'm going to have to look that up. The Bhagavad Gita. That is actually on my list of things to learn more about. Don't know anything about it yet, but it is on my list. I have a list of different kind of topics I want to touch on, mostly from another book that I had on world religions to learn about. But yeah, so after Dolores Cannon, I'm going to continue on to her Convoluted Universe books, but they'll become my second books, and I'm going to go, I don't know what I'm going to go to next, probably back to Don Webb.
I'd like to read that book that you read, that I also purchased, the overview of the Temple of Set. Is that what it's called? Or
No.
something similar? No.
I can't remember the exact name of
to
it.
the Temple of Set?
Nope.
So,
Secrets of the Temple of Set, something like that.
So I am reading. Is this camera on?
And I'm also reading The Expanse as my fiction novel, which I progressed 3 books. It's really good. If you haven't read The Expanse and you like space operas, you should do it. Space
operas.
Yes. I call it a space opera. It's not really truly a space, but it is a space opera. It's, the magnetic Star Trek style, Star Wars style, those kind of large happenings. It's very good. Now you may continue.
I wonder if I would like it. You think?
Read one of the books and see.
The Expanse.
Yep. I want to watch the TV show, but I'm enjoying the reading, of course, because that's my favorite thing. Morning, Joy.
Good morning, Joy. Well, I have a really bad habit of I'll start books and then not finish them and go on to something else. But currently, or at the current moment, I am reading The Simple Magic of Wild Things by Dave Gaddy, The Journey of a Southern Male Witch, which is actually really good so far. I will update on that. And then...
So, before you go, though, if you don't know who Dave Gaddy is, check out Facebook.
Yeah.
Incredibly nice guy. Spends a lot of time out in the woods. And I think he's going to be a speaker, and maybe has been in the past too, but a speaker at a couple of events coming up. And I don't know if it's WitchCon or which ones it is. I can't remember. But GADDY, check it out. It sounds like his book is really simple read. Not simple, but
very good. Yeah.
Conversational read, which is kind of how I like it. But super intensely nice guy. Like, I really have never met him in person, but he's somebody I want to meet and hang out with. So, but unfortunately he's in Georgia, so a little bit of a trip.
The book does have exercises throughout, so I think what I'm going to do for my system is to read the chapters and then go back through and work the exercises, because I know the way my mind works, I'll get hung up if I don't finish the exercise and think I can't move on. So I'm going to read all the chapters and then go back and work through the exercises. And I'm also reading, as of yesterday, The Allure of Immortality, An American Cult, a Florida Swamp, and a Renegade Prophet by Lynn Milner, who's a professor at Florida Gulf Coast University. And this is about, and I don't know how to properly say it, but...
We say Koreshan. We've heard people say Koreshan.
Or Koreshan. But Cyrus Teed, the physician that pretty much started a modern movement of Koreshanity.
Yeah. Koreshanity. I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know how you say that.
Do not know how I feel about that. Just the way that it sounds is kind of like, I don't know.
So the park... they actually moved from Chicago to Florida, this group, and he recruited over 200 members for this settlement in Estero, Florida. And part of their beliefs were they felt through celibacy and other things that they could achieve
negative Ghost
salvation.
Rider. Huh? It's a negative Ghost Rider. Not doing the celibacy.
Oh, yeah, but... ultimately, being celibate is what... I mean, they didn't have any more members.
The problem is, for me, not the problem. I shouldn't say that. Let me take that back. It's not a problem at all. The interesting thing for me, well, I guess it is a problem. People refer to it as a cult, which I think it does meet a lot of the definition of cult, but... a positive one. People could go out, come in. There was no brainwashing. There was... you believed you could join, you didn't, you could leave. Like, there was no... It was definitely the only cult that I have been able to read about or hear about and learn about that it feels like it wasn't a bad thing. Like, cult was really negative connotation. And they did have a centralized prime leader, but even the prime centralized leader believed in absolute equality between the genders. That there was even the court of the planetary.
Oh, the
sisters.
Planetary court.
Which is a prize of all women who really governed the entire place, yet they had a consort of men to match them because they knew that the rest of the world wouldn't listen to women, but that's what they did. And I mean, it just was neat. Like, they could leave, they have descendants. So there are descendants of people who are related to people who are Koreshan. They're usually aunts and uncles, right? So it's like this person's aunt. So there are related people. Cousins. There's just nobody that believes in the Koreshanity. So super cool. Super cool.
And then the settlement probably really started to really decrease. I want to say like 1910, early 1900s, but it may have been later than that.
It was later.
But the buildings that are still there in the settlement is just amazing. What they've repaired, recreated, and preserved.
I think the decline started like in the 30s and 40s. I think with the way that there was a tour guide that we kind of ran into at the end, which we need to do the tour. But if you're ever down here in Florida, go with us. We're going to go on that tour at some point.
The Koreshan State Park. Very interesting. They believed the earth was hollow and like we were living inside the earth and the universe was like around and inside the earth. Very interesting.
Very.
And, different thinking for that time.
There's another book you got that I kind of want to read soon, too.
Oh, Hedwig Mitchell? Yeah, or Mitchell?
The last
Correction.
Mm-hmm. And you know what's really cool, guys? Two things. Rook finally got to see the version of the semi-commune / community space that I've always thought of in my head, how that layout is. And I think Dragon Dancer and Manny, if you've ever been to the Correctional State Park, which it sounds like you might have, how that was set up is how I kind of pictured land. Like we have the 15, 20 acres or more. That's kind of what I pictured. The kind of separation, but still close enoughness, but still complete separation, right? And some shared spaces, some not shared spaces. But yeah, it was freaking awesome.
They had houses, a bakery, a laundry,
the generator,
blacksmith, generator, bakery,
the store. You said bakery.
The store.
Yep. Very cool.
A dining hall. I mean, and I just think that's so cool. The planetary court, those women who governed. That was really, really cool. Unfortunately, though, being celibate, I mean,
yeah,
I guess not enough people were interested to
and
join.
People could join, so it wasn't purely a bloodline thing. It was definitely some people went in. Some people went out. They didn't seem to have hard feelings. Like it was pretty cool to kind of learn about.
Very neat. So I'm reading that book about that, or a lot of that. The Allure of Immortality.
I'm going to go back to two things. First good thing to go back to is Jason Miller. I have not read any of Jason Miller's stuff. I am aware of who Jason Miller is. Couldn't remember, so I did just look him back up again, and I remember some of his books. I have not read any. So, not sure. Philosophy is more my gig than write out magic. So I find myself doing a lot more talking and discussing and pondering and thinking and ritual and devotion, like that kind of thing, than I do actual magic spell work. So even though I do, just not often. Like that's not as common for me, so I just haven't really crossed that path with him yet. And I have had really good success with my own processes that I've done, kind of cobbled together. So that's my feelings on Jason Miller. Anybody else, certainly share if you hear anything. And then yes, I am absolutely, positively sure and can tell even through the internet the level of charge that Dragon Dancer is exuding after recent events, and I cannot express how jealous I am in a great way.
Ooh, I don't know if I'd say it probably felt like a big ritual, but probably a lot of just the energy had to be.
I'm sure it felt like amazing. A big ritual. That's what people say it's like.
Yeah, amazing.
They're probably not going to be back either, so I'm really sad about that after their current tour.
Oh, really? Like they're disbanding, or?
Well, no, they're not from here. This is their U.S. leg. It didn't have a lot of stops on it, to be honest. I love listening to her interviews and stuff, though. I put too much on there. It's going to stink in a minute, by the way. So, although you sorry guys, my incense, the more I try to put it in the right place, the more it drops off on the other side and gets messed up. But yeah, so that's kind of my thoughts on that. Very jealous, but I am so happy you got to go. I saw some pictures. I'm going to go back and look at them in a little more detail.
Ooh,
but we have lots of pictures, I think, in the Discord, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I want to go see. Look at that.
Yeah, here, and some videos. Oh yeah, we're definitely going to be catching up on those.
Wow.
In the city, so of course I had to find a forest. Love that. So we're going to catch up on that in a little bit.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah. So if you're in the Discord, hop in the Discord, y'all. Check it out. So we didn't prepare a topic today. It's been a very short weekend for me. I got in Friday, or have to go back out. I'm out for a week, and there's gonna be a lot of traveling. So, and we were out pretty late last night.
Yeah, mundane and work and
Yeah.
all that stuff.
But I did want to talk about the energy shift and how things are feeling differently than our normal energy shift.
I mean, the last couple of weeks we've talked about like how weird it feels.
Mm-hmm. Well, we also talked about the augurs and how the general consensus is a lot of the years leading up of the last couple of years have been tower years, deconstruction, revamping, removing, addressing, putting things back together, moving things back around, that kind of stuff, and then right back to action. So we're doing a lot more, to me, a lot more things that are related to directing and elevating. There's a word. Joy knows what it is. I can't think of it right now. It's not elevating, but it's of that level. We are in the great period for us as the general people, for me anyway, to go up, to elevate. It is, I feel like my experiences and my learning is going higher and higher than it ever has. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like when I listen to a verse now, even go back and read through the ones we have done before, it has a completely different feel. I got the whole stack out the other day.
Yeah, we need to start doing that on Sundays again.
As far as, let's see, big debate discourages groups on main servers. Oh yeah. Yeah, no, we've talked about this before. I'm not really a debate nerd, personally, just because I don't know, I just don't really. I'm a little too fluffy for it, I guess. I do encourage people to like you to express and share and give information, but debating's not really on my screen. Like, I'm not going to argue with you about what you are and aren't doing. I will listen to your point of view and I will consider it. But yeah. So that's one interesting thing about that. I do agree. It's great to get out of your comfort zone. I don't like to utilize other people to do that though. I like to direct where I'm going outside of my comfort zone. The left-hand path was outside of my comfort zone when I first started it.
Oh, for sure.
And maybe out of the word debate and more of the word just having heavy, detailed conversation and considering and pondering and philosophicalizing. The eclipse, I don't know if I enjoyed the eclipse so much as I felt the energy of it. It was great, but it did not feel like excessively, like it didn't feel like anything. That's not the right word. The energy is already in a place that's going so fast, so far, and to me in a good way, that it just went with all of that. Like, it wasn't this outside time, this big push. That just wasn't really it. Ascension, Manny, thank you. That's what I was thinking. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up as fast as I can on the chat. Ascension, that is what I was looking for. The cocoon opening that Dragon Dancer mentions, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's how it feels. It feels like we're right at the edge. We're getting ready. We're flapping our wings a little bit. They're new, but they're getting ready to carry us on these really long distances.
The cocoon has open. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. I can absolutely see that, Tabati.
Or when you're trying to think of a response and don't answer people and they get upset with you.
Yeah, but it's really, really important.
Is what I'm having a really hard time and working on right now.
Right? So that there's two things with that in conversation, if you're having a conversation with somebody. Mm-hmm. And that's the true thing in a debate. If you're having a debate, when the clock changes over, you can't be thinking of a response. Because if you are, you can't listen to the argument, right? So you have to wait. But when the time clock changes over, I hear you, give me a minute. That lets other people know that you've received the message and that you're thinking it, because then they're expecting something else. I'm wondering, did you even listen to what I said? So communication is very important.
Understood. I don't know, sometimes I can't talk as fast as my brain's going, and I have a hard time communicating what I want to lately.
But that's not, I'm not using you as an example. I'm using you as an example. The issue for most people isn't that you have to come up with a response right away. It's that it's acknowledging the message, that it exists. Hear you.
Right.
Yeah. There's a lot of people, conversations calmly trying to learn or reach a good place with people, and they go, I'm not going to argue. Yet that, I don't like that response so much either. Like, well, I'm not going to argue about it.
It means they don't want to discuss it, or they're not interested. To me, that's what I think when people say, well, I'm not going to argue.
I do use that phrase sometimes to Batty, but I think when I'm using it, it's because the other person seems to feel heated about something and it's uncomfortable. Not that, like, when we have discussions with it about stuff and we don't agree with certain people and things, it seems pretty easy to me. I don't have a problem. But when they start getting like heated and a little frustrated, it's like, well, I'm not gonna argue about it. So I will discuss it. I will talk to you about it. I will even debate a little bit about it, but I won't argue. Now,
I will say I'm not arguing that with you. Like, I'm not disagreeing to a certain point you've made and then continue to talk, but not just, well, I'm not going to argue. Yeah, that's kind of, that's like shutting down.
It is. It's very shutting down.
But it's different to say, I'm not arguing that with you about a specific thing and then continuing to discuss it. Yeah. So I guess it depends on how they're saying it.
Yeah,
what's followed by that statement.
There's a thought that when you go into a discussion, that your goal is to get the other person to see your point of view. I do that, and I'm trying really hard the last couple of years to slow that down and stop that. I go into a conversation not to change your mind, but to express my belief, and then to hear your belief, and then decide, do I want to assimilate some of that into my system of belief? So that was very interesting. Finn is walking all over my feet. It's so funny.
Iris, you'll have bacon. You'll have bacon.
Bjorn, that's a good question. I don't know the answer to. My brain first goes to, I don't know, because I do consider myself left-hand and theistic, but not a Satanist. So that might be why. So from a left-hand path perspective, I have no problem with blood magic. I'm not going to do it. I don't feel the need for it. I will use my own blood on something, for sure. But that is what that is. Yeah, so that's interesting.
Hey, run in.
I think people have a problem with blood magic because of their preconceived notions immediately of what that meant. Or the fact that you can understand and listen to and hear blood magic and still say, that doesn't work for me. And that's fine, right?
Hi, Iris.
That's something you can do. That's an easy one. And I know we're going back and forth a lot, but I'm just trying to keep up with the chat.
Yeah, no, that's good. I think this
is a really good conversation.
I'm thinking in my head, I want to go camping.
Lord mercy, me too. Tabati, exactly. If you're calm and talking, you just say something you don't like because it's the point you can't refute. Like I've come up to that before, and I'm just like, well, that doesn't really make sense to me. I do it with Adius on the things like, yeah, no, I disagree with that, and this is why. And then he's like, okay, there's no such thing as agree to disagree to me. You just disagree, and it's okay to just disagree. Saying agree to disagree, kind of like.
It's still getting that one jab in, but I'm right.
It's the same thing as what you're saying up there earlier. It's well, I'm not going to argue.
Exactly.
It's the exact same thing. It's a closer.
It's like it's just like.
It's like it's a closer. Agree to disagree. It's like, no, let's talk about this. I still disagree. You still disagree, but cool. I like that. Didn't think of it that way, but that's exactly what it is. It's the same thing, I think. Hola, running.
Running.
Late to the party. At least you're at the party. I have done, I think, one thing with blood magic, and it was absolutely specifically personal. Very specific to something I wanted to do, and that's it. Had nothing to do with anybody else or anything. It was very personal, and it worked. I mean, I absolutely had some results.
Yes, group camping. That would be really cool.
So my 10th anniversary gift from my job was a camping tent. And as most of you, if you know us, we've been looking at campers and stuff for years.
Like 3 or 4 years.
And we just keep going back and forth between different options. I think we have finally settled on a pathway that involves getting a decent but older used truck and a camper, a pop-up style, or some kind of trailer camper, or going back to our original Class C version, getting a used one, and just do it.
Poo camping?
I don't know what's poo camping.
Hello.
Oh,
Oh, Pooh Bear. It's a person?
yes.
Okay.
How
How did I not know the coolness of pop-up campers? Like, no, I thought that they went away, like, in the 80s.
Poo camping.
But those things are freaking cool, man.
Yeah, my biggest concern, and maybe somebody can fill in this for me, but my biggest thing is, we can't spend a shit ton of money. We are going to pay off some other things first, so we have a pathway, a plan, and a process.
And we're looking at it used.
We've minimized, we've reduced a lot of bills. Most of the things we bought recently have been cash. Some are not, so we're going to pay that off first. And then, but I want to travel with the dogs. I don't want to leave the dogs home.
Yeah, so we may go back to the sea. I don't know.
So how is that possible? And with 5 Chihuahuas and a Samoyed and a truck, because they can't be in the camper if it's a pop-up.
No.
And I'm not comfortable with them being in a camper anyway.
No. Oh my God.
While we're driving, unless it's a C.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, that's completely off topic. But yes, I have no problem tent camping. But I definitely feel more comfortable when it's off the ground. So our compromise is to have some sort of, maybe both. Maybe we'll pop a tent up and, yes, we figured it out. That's funny. But yeah, now I'm probably going to make Rook go tent camping beforehand because it's going to be at least a year or two before we can execute a plan.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes.
I've seen some nice tents.
Yeah, mine's not big, but it's 4-person and it has 2 rooms. But again, in a tent, I'm not taking the dogs.
Right. Oh yeah, no.
Too hot.
Yeah.
So it'd be a 1-day or 2-day thing. That part kind of sucks.
I will do it. I think I'm more of a glamper.
Yeah.
But I will try in a tent.
Yeah, we have a lot of battery sources that we can utilize. I have a 400-watt solar generator that we could take if we did a long-term camping, but I think we're either going to end up with a truck and a small pop-up or somebody's old used Class C.
I would definitely like to try a little cabin at the park, Joy. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
That would be cool. I wonder, I don't know if Koreshan has cabins.
I think it does.
I think they might. That would be fun.
Most state parks have some, but they're usually sold. They sell out pretty hard.
Oh my God, that would be a lot of fun.
Violet Sky, how are
Violet,
you?
Oh my God, how are you doing?
Yes.
How the heck are ya?
I'm glad we're still the favorites. That's always a great thing, but I'm glad you stopped in too. It's been forever. We're just really kind of shooting the shit today.
Yeah.
I really enjoy the conversation about the debating and the discussions because that's exactly what has given me, out of everything I've experienced since living in Florida, the most fulfilling thing has been having strong, opinionated conversations about life and magic with people.
Yep.
It hasn't been rituals. It hasn't been classes. It hasn't been meetings or any of that stuff. It has been just being present with other people and talking about stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
That is where I have grown the most. Like,
get a yurt style tent, camping style.
Oh.
Ooh, what's a yurt?
I do have a yurt style camp saved. Remember, we were going to get one when we had the land, and we decided against it.
Is that the teepee looking thing?
It's circular. Yeah, the one that we had was. It's not teepee from the ground up, but it's got a similar kind of dome, teepee tent top style.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
cool. And yet, Manny, I'm the same. I actually have to. I didn't even. Thank you for reminding me. I've got to figure out a solution for that too. I wear a APAP, so a camper would be good, but the tent or whatever, I have to figure it out.
Well, like I said, we have battery operated items.
I mean, I could go without it like a night. You may not be able to sleep, but
well, you'll be outside in the grass.
That's not nice.
Then we'll have a battery backup. Other than being overheated, and just being swamp ass, because we took the motorcycles, being at the park and going into the buildings and seeing those things, just reminded me that we all search for reconnection, I think, with the earth. And when you see the simpler ways of things and how much more connected it was, there's something magical about that. And camping does that. It gives you that reconnection, but you don't have to do it completely modernless, you know? If we had land and we're able to set something up, sure, we're going to have electricity in the buildings. Am I going to, you know, there's going to be some creature comforts. I've got to have air conditioning. I just have to have air conditioning and heat. You have to have it. Well, not down here, the heat part, but you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's just, experiencing those things with the animals is important. But I think the thing that has always been in my mind is I'd like space that has both modern and non-modern commodities. For example, I really want, one of the things that I want more than anything at a settlement or a commune or whatever we would call it. I hate the word commune because it has some negative connotations, but it is what it is a circular building that is lined with windows and books all the way around. Can be opened, can be closed, but everything is probably no power to it except for maybe a dehumidifier to kind of help with humidity, especially down here. Stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, that would be perfect weather, Manny, to camp.
Yes. I went
tent attachment. Oh, cool.
I remember camping quite a few times in
that's a good idea.
Florida. I mean in Virginia. We would go both camping in the wilderness and camping at, you know, camping places. But my best memories are camping with my mom in the Shenandoah. Oh
man, I bet that was fun.
Yeah, we would pick a stream, we'd go beside it, we'd pitch a tent. I remember we lost our cup, so she would use the plastic saran wrap from her cigarettes as a cup.
Oh wow, that is cool.
To get water. So stuff like that, yeah.
Well, that's a good idea. I think the Tesla has that camp mode too.
Yeah.
Like a tent to it. That'd be nice.
Hubs my, welcome in. Yeah, that's super cool. The only thing that holds me up on all of the easy, cheaper versions, inexpensive, I should say, is the dogs. We have to have space for them. That's a critical piece. That's really what's going to drive our final decision, I think, because when we go on vacation to see family, instead of flying, we want to bring that and have the animals come with us, and that's hard to do with the pop-ups or the trailers.
But the C would be
would work.
So that may be what we end up with UC.
But driving 1,200 miles, 3 tanks of gas, it's gonna be about $800.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh yeah. Agree, and that's where you get your protection from. You don't even have to ask or think for protection. You just honor and respect the energies and the ancestors of the area, and you have very likely good results.
What's the Headless Valley?
Yeah, what is the Headless Valley? I just saw that. I mean, we have a round trip schedule. We know, like, in my lifetime, I will be doing a United States trip in my motorcycle and one in a camper. That's gonna happen, even if it's a U-Haul that we steal and disappear with. I'm kidding. We would never do that. That's on camera.
Oh my God, no, we wouldn't steal.
Oh, I got to go back to Walmart and pay for the chapstick I stole.
Walgreens.
Walgreens, yeah.
Oh my God.
What?
You stole.
I didn't do it on purpose.
I know.
I went in and bought a whole bunch of stuff at Walgreens, and I had my gloves on, and I'd picked up a chapstick, and I just had it in my hand as I was putting all the stuff on the thing, and she didn't notice. I didn't notice. I walked up like, holy shit, I didn't pay for that once I got home, so I got to go back up and pay for that today before we leave. But yeah, so all in all, to me, camping is a great way to reconnect, but it is also as simple as, I mean, camping in your own backyard even could do the same thing.
Maybe we should look at doing a tent thing somewhere close.
Yeah.
Mr. Ball has a new video for the Headless Valley. Oh.
I'm going to have to look at that because I've seen all of his videos and I probably just don't remember it.
Mr. Ballin.
Sometimes I'm listening to him though when I'm getting in the shower and stuff and I'll miss things.
He can grow a beard. I can't grow a beard. I'm like a 12-year-old. I can't.
I'm definitely growing mine out right now, but I have to keep it relatively trimmed for work because healthcare.
I wish I could, but I'm accepting of how I am.
Yeah.
I like Mr. Ballin.
You know, one thing I just realized that I'm really upset about? I'm starting to get over arguing about not liking my job because I do actually love my job. I hate the traveling. I'm trying to spend less time worrying about it though, because if I'm not going to change it, there's no point in being upset about it. But I really feel like was just thinking about it. I was like, you know what? Tomorrow when I get home from work, I want to go out in the backyard and burn some stuff and clean up and do things. And I can't do that. I'll be in another state.
Oh, yeah.
Next 3 weeks, I'll be in somebody else's state.
But when you would take like your little traveling altar and things, would that help? Does that help?
I take that now. So in traveling altar, great conversation. Instead of that big one up there, I now have just a little bag, and it's got just little trinkets in it that kind of connect me. And I put it up every time I get to the hotel. I literally go immediately in, clean off one of the side tables, and set up my altar on it every time. And I call the corners. I'll sit. I'll meditate for a minute. Do some binaural beats. Keeps me completely together.
What are we burning? Joy wants to know.
Joy, this is some of the bark pieces from the grove. Pine. That's what's reminding me of my grandmother and wanting to be outside and working in the yard. And God, I miss it. But that is the reconnection I think everybody is looking for at some point. And I, like Dragon Dancer said, you know, opening ourselves up at this point from our cocoon is really what I'm feeling. Yeah. What are we doing next week? Anything scheduled?
Nothing I know of. Trying to work on our videos for a little bit.
Next week is a very short weekend for me, but Joy, we should connect if you're available next week.
Yeah.
I keep meaning to call you, and then I don't. Because I've been flying out Mondays, and I'm out Monday through Friday for like 3 weeks. It's been stressful, but...
That would be really nice.
Yeah, we need to catch up in person.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is from the Grove, and it is one of my favorites.
And just thinking about going back to camping, I think the reason I'm stuck on it, and you too, is because although we'd like to buy land and have a house built out where it's open in the country, we can't do that.
Yeah.
So we kind of feel like can't do that financially. It's kind of feel like camping will be our escape from all this city energy.
And let me tell you, whatever camper it is, it's going to be a witch's camper.
Yeah. Beltane and Saturday.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Ooh.
I saw that on the newsletter.
Cool. I need to read the newsletter. I did get it in my email.
Yeah, we'll figure it out, though. So I'm out this week. I'm out the following week. I'm out the following week, and then I should be home for a week. So hopefully it'll get better there. Which I love pine. It's one of my favorite things. Bjorn. Oh yeah. Yeah, I get a pretty decent beard, but like it doesn't fill in on the sides. It gets good here in the middle, like my goatee part. But the rest is really spotty. So yeah, what's everybody doing for Beltane? Or if you don't celebrate Beltane, do you celebrate something at this time of year? Are you an equinox and a solstice celebrator?
Or a moon
celebrator? Yeah.
I want to do more stuff on the moons. I like that. It's always very calming.
Oh, about the dragon stuff.
Beard needs a trimming.
One of the things that I found very interesting, and Joy, I don't know if you were in here when we said it when we first came in, when we came back after the solstice or the eclipse, and after the ritual that we did at the Grove when with last weekend with Manny and you and everybody. We came in, or at least I did, and I felt the dragons kind of hovering in a different way. They almost weren't even on their shelves. They were kind of elevated and above everything and kind of just swarming in a very, very not peaceful, but not aggressive way. It was very active and happy and joy, like very let's go kind of feeling to it, which is really what I've been feeling a lot this lately. Love it.
Ooh, I celebrate Walpurgis Night. Beltane April 30th and May Day May 1st. Okay, awesome.
Doing anything special or specific?
I'll have to see what Chris is doing. They're active. Ooh. Well, we got to plan something. We got to do something for Beltane. Drinking pine needle tea is a treat. Condiments like shaga mushrooms or honey.
Shaga.
You don't need, but always non-toxic pine needles for safe measures. Yeah. Oh, awesome.
Yeah, with the hurricane, we got a lot of resin and sap from the trees. And that is what is burning right now. It's literally my favorite scent just one single scent. Pine is so simple and complex at the same time. When it's going, it's just nice.
Ooh, witchcraft movies.
That actually sounds awesome. Fun.
That sounds very good.
It does.
Ooh.
We might actually.
We might come by. Yeah.
Like I said though, with me only having 2 days at home, it's been really difficult to do anything, but cleaning the house really, and taking care of the yard, mowing the lawn, and all that stuff. It's been very, very limited. We almost canceled today just because everything is so short and just compacted right now.
I can't believe we were just talking last night and we didn't get home till what, 1? Mm-hmm. After 1?
Yeah, we didn't do anything either. We didn't see anybody.
What, 8:30?
We're sitting in the chairs talking. Yeah.
And it's like time just went by.
It always does there though.
Yeah.
It's very what you call it?
Or Herbist. Doing fire, labyrinth, and maple. All right. Sweet.
Why doesn't the text show up?
I like all 3 of those things. Fire, labyrinth, and maple.
This computer gets on my nerves. Notepad, that's all I wanted. So yeah, that's awesome. It'll be very nice. I think 5 or 6. I have to look at it to be sure. Walpurgis Nacht will be fun. Might include a couple elements of that too. I think this week I get home like Friday at either 3 or 7. I can't remember. I'll have to check. I guess the main theory today, after all the discussion, is really you know, conversate, discuss your things, talk about things with people, be open-minded, learn, read, do all of the things, experience the things, and have fun with it. Yeah, thank you. Yep. So I think we're gonna switch into tarot. Does anybody want a couple of cards? I'm gonna use the Ephemere Tarot since VG ate the box. She ate the whole box.
I can never find my stuff.
Where do you keep moving it to?
That's the question.
Oh no, there's a green bag right there that I don't know about. I'm also putting together my my casting bag too, which is gonna be very interesting. Run in the shadows. All right, thank you for coming in, Mystic, Manny.
Thank you, bye, Manny.
All right, so we got Run in the Shadows, Kelvin, Joy, Dragon Dancer. We'll go with that. Tabati, we got you on there too.
Okay.
So we have a blessed deck this time.
All right.
VG.
I'm using Light's Ears.
This dog, I swear. So the Ephemere deck, Ephemere, I don't know how to say it properly, but it's close enough. Hold on.
Ooh.
Our camera's not working. Woohoo! I'm gonna try real quick just to see if I can get it to work, but if not, it's fine. We'll do it without it.
Oh, for the cards?
Yeah.
Let's see what we got.
Bing bong bing. That's a good sign.
Hooty,
Good
hooty,
sign.
hooty. So we need some more stuff and more cards through it.
I'll put the pine bark on it because it tends to burn the best. All right, let's see. All right, it's still not working. Oh well, we'll have to do it without it. Sorry, guys.
Oh, man.
I don't know why it just out of nowhere is not working. It worked fine every time before. It was a good sign that it picked up, but I can try adding the source again. Let's see if that works. I just don't want to spend too much.
I'm going for running.
There it goes. All right, we got him. There we go.
All right, cool deal.
I am excellent. Now I gotta put on my shuffle though. I know the Futhark a little bit. I can spell with it actually, but I cannot read it just yet. I'm working on it. Mystic Manny, sorry if you didn't hear us, but have a great day, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, Furry, we got you. We got you. I like that devil.
I do too.
Run in the Shadows, you're up first. And we'll get some cards going here. I've used this deck a few times. It is by the True Black group. True Black makes True Black, of course, and they make Ephemere, which, of course, I no longer have a box for. I can only use the deck now. I'm gonna have to get it in a pouch because somebody ate the box.
Would that be VG?
That would be VG. Somebody ate the box. That is what she did. So, yeah, there's that. I'm not sure exactly what you're asking. I like working with them. Yeah. Ace of Wands.
You have to put it upside down, don't I?
So running the shadows. The Ace of Wands is coming up. This is, and you're going to see another card too. So something is coming very fruitful for you in your action fire realm. Maybe there's been some stuckedness and some like, meh, things aren't exactly how I want them to be. The Ace of Wands is saying there's this new thing that's coming that's going to give you a lot of that missing enjoyment and go of that whole thing. The Ace of Wands often comes up when there's a new aspect to your career or a new aspect to the things that are going on, but I don't think that's this. I think this Wands is going to be really about just an overarching, this thing that didn't even think I'd ever do. I'm going to do it, and I really like this. It's really giving me a revamp and a reopening of something that you really enjoy. So something new is coming, and it's going to bring you into a positive joyness and forwardness that's going to actually be different this time than it has been in the past. So very positive feel from that. So yeah.
I think I've pulled this for him before. Can't remember. All right. The Light Seer gives you the sun. The way is clear. It's bright, no darkness, just happy times. Literally, soak up the good stuff this week. And it's going to be an awesome week.
Level up and joy for a month. Yeah. But yeah, seriously, this the Wands is, I'm just getting an overall something that you've done before, but in a new way is really gonna kind of give you an invigoration. Your cocoon is opening. Caw. Wait, that's not a thing.
That's a parrot.
Yeah, I don't know what that was for, but take it for what it is. Bjorn, to kind of talk about that a little bit, I have quite a few different sets of runes. I have a set that Heather made. Dragon Dancer made. I have a couple of wood burned ones and a couple of rock sets that have been engraved, and I like all of them. I enjoy working with them, but I'm not yet fully connected to them like I am with the tarot. So it's a newer thing for me. That's awesome. That's awesome. Running the shadows.
It's Kelvin.
Kelvin, it is Kelvin.
Why am I throwing things?
Now, these Ephemer tarot cards are amazing stock. They're very tough and very matte finished. So they can be a little bit of a pain to shuffle sometimes because they don't like to slide in together. But Kelvin, let's see what we get here, sir. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? I gotta look that up. I just want to make sure I'm calling the right card of what I think it is. Because this deck does have different cards in it. So while it is your what do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? Traditional cards. It also has a bunch of additional cards that are not traditional, and I want to make sure that I've got the right one here when I talk about it. I believe it is 8 of Pentacles. Yep. Okay. Got it. I just wanted to make sure because there's numbered cards in here like Origins and Presence and other things. So we've got the 8 of Pentacles here. I've talked about this card a lot on actually just talked about it last night or Friday night on Apocrypha because I had I think a 7 of Pentacles that was pulled for the general reading, and I talked about how the 8 is the masterwork and the 7 is the kind of lead up to that. We're like, oh crap, did I mess up? What do I got to do? What do I got to check and fix? But 8 is the masterwork. This is the masterpiece. This is the thing that you do or that you have about you or thing that you do in this physical world that has complete mastery over. Whether that is like in olden days, it'd be like blacksmithing, shoe cobbling, baking, all the things that people did to survive or to hobby or to enjoy. This is the masterwork card for that. So this means in a read that you're at a point where there's something that you have mastered and that you are able to fully use it, and you need to fully utilize that now going into the next level of whatever it is you're doing. So pay attention to the things that you have that you are mastering. It could be something as simple as mastering your body, healing certain things that maybe you couldn't before, and recognizing that the earth is what supports that healing. Earth is what supports that thing. That is mastery. That is the full understanding of it. So often 8 of Pentacles comes up for me when it's a reminder for you to look back and be happy with what you've done. Like there might be things you don't like, but it really says, this is great craftsmanship. Please enjoy it and take it and love it because it's good masterwork.
All right. The Light Seer deck presents 7 of Cups. Something's going to come up this week and it'll feel like an emotional situation or something that you have an emotional attachment to. Think about it. This guy here, he looks pensive. He looks like he's considerate. He's really thinking about something in his life that has that emotional attachment. Think on it a little bit and then go with your intuition, because once you do, it's going to be a release, a clearing of emotions that will make you feel more connected on a spiritual level this week. I hope that will mean something.
Yeah. Maybe the masterwork is spiritual. That's very potential. Joy, that's very potential. There's a lot of potential that it is that.
Yeah, you're
welcome.
welcome.
You're up next.
Joy.
By the way, in this True Black Tarot group that makes the Ephemera, the guidebook is by Matt Oren and Arthur Wang, which is really neat to have a deck that he worked on.
That is really cool.
It's such a pretty deck. It's a very pretty deck.
What's it called? Ephemera?
Ephemera.
Ephemera?
Ephemeral. Ephemera, but not the ephemeral part. All right. Joy. Ace of Cups. I love this Ace of Cups. So this Ace of Cups is dolphins kind of swimming around with this golden cup that's pouring out of it. And so it represents, Ace of Cups represents generally that raw power of emotion and feeling and things around us. And the time that we're in is definitely a very powerful time, and it does represent that. But in addition, Ace in this particular deck is representing the pouring out of that. It is the releasing of that. It is it's not taking in the energy and building up on it. It is allowing the energy to come through and out as something effective and flowy and prospecty and forward motiony, right? So the Ace is always about your culmination of all of the raw things that make us us and make you you, but not make you you. But in that particular vision or image, I always feel there's this flow part of it, kind of like with temperance, right? Temperance is, to me, not just this emotional water or balance and temperance. It is a constant flow all around the place. And so this is the emotions and the feelings are coming in through and need to come right back out. They cannot sit in. They cannot become stale. They need to go through and out, and they will benefit many. If I see a cup like this, my first thing I'd want to do is go to the beach, go swimming, be in water, be surrounded. Even not physically, but emotionally, be surrounded. That's a very, very positive thing to look forward this week. So.
All right, and Lightseer presents the Seven of Wands. Your passions are many. You've got great things going on. The things that matter to you are the right things. You're balanced. You are elevated, and just keep going. So, if there's something that you're thinking about doing or starting, it is not going to be too much. What you've got it balanced. You've got it going, and you're sitting high in a good way and elevated. So keep working on what you're passionate about this week because you got it going on.
I'm feeling a lot of, like with the water and with your card, a lot of electricity feeling, like a lot of conduit type thing. Like we have a lot of people that are, need to be, this isn't a bad thing, but users and need to process and need to move and need to do things. But they need somebody to give them the energy to do that. And I think a lot of us, myself included, Joy, I think this is coming from the read a little bit, are the ones being the conduits of taking the energy that's way too much for many people to bear and transforming it into something that's usable by them. And that's where this next action is coming of things, the next outpouring of things. So very cool. Yes, I'll look.
All right. This is Mr. Dragon.
Thank you.
Le Dragon Shaboom.
Dragon Dancer is next.
Dragon Dancer is coming next. Coming up next.
She's a dragon dancer.
Dancer of dragons.
Presents. Booped your butt. Ha ha. VG, we will WALK. I promise before we go today. All right, dragon.
Shine.
These cards are such a pain to shuffle sometimes. It's funny because the matte finish on them keeps it so like when you push them together, they're really resisty. And I can tell the more I use them, the more glossy they're gonna get.
From shuffling them and moving them and.
Or from rubbing.
Yeah, from rubbing.
Sorry, I have a bent edge and I do not do bent cards. That makes me mad. Dragon Dancer. Let's see what we get here. Death. I think I pulled that one for you before. I think as anybody can see or knows that death is really, it's the transformation card, right? We talk about this all the time. It is the end of one, the beginning of another. It is the coming out of your cocoon. I mean, literally, you already said it. You already said it today. The idea is that we allow one part of us to die so that the new part of us can really be everything that it's supposed to be. So there's some sort of event that is occurring that's, you've let go of some things and you're on a new era. You're on a new path for that. I find that this new path is going to be one that's much different than things have been in the past. It's going to include a lot more positivity, a lot more good feelings, a lot more comfort, I think, even. Just by looking at the card, this is a very feminine death card, which I love. It's got this softness to it of don't be afraid, which we all know at this point that that's how it should be, right? We're not afraid of death in any of its many forms. So she's saying, let it go. The cocoon's opened up. It's okay to let that piece behind you.
Ah, cool. And I pulled from Lightseers, the Emperor. And as you're doing this, you've got a good strategy. You've got a good plan. You're organized, detail-oriented in what you're doing. And in your new thing, whatever that is, keep that process. Keep your clear head, your planning, your organization, and strategizing skills there. Because it serves you well, and it will continue to do so with whatever is next.
Mm-hmm.
Or even in the process of letting go and re-emerging.
Absolutely.
That's good.
Love it.
Ooh.
All right.
Okay.
Bjorn, I do I don't know that I have crazy rituals so much as there are some things that I do. Between, I'm a tapper. I do my 3 taps, and I'm knocking off all the energy, not negative energy, but just the energy, so that it's for each person. Before I pull a card, you'll often hear me say the person's name, and that is literally me triggering myself to connect it to that person. It's like with Tabati.
You're welcome.
That is the name that connects you to that person to the universe, and that's what I call. So I'm calling in my head to connect to that. As far as cleansing, I like to use smoke, and as far as charging, I like to carry the deck with me. I will put decks right by my bed. I've had them under, at the hotels. I'll put it under the pillow. I'll take them outside with me. I have one deck that I never leaves my side, except when I'm at work. Even then, it's usually in my bag. So, but nothing I would say crazy ritual for most decks. Just my main deck that I use, it gets a little bit of special attention. I do believe each of the decks have a little bit of their own energy and their own spirit kind of growth to it, which I think is important. But they all have their purpose and place. So Tabati. What are you? Oh my godding.
Oh,
throwing cards?
Yeah, I keep throwing cards. Keep slinging them.
All right, let's see. Alchemist.
And then I will put yours down.
Alchemist. So this card does not have a consort in the regular tarot. This is an extra card in this particular deck. I mean, alchemy, not that far off from death, except the purpose of it is different, right? The purpose of this particular process is now different. We're alchemizing things around you and changing things around you. So instead of yourself going through a transformation and coming out of this cocoon, you are using and manipulating things around you to create change and move things on. It does point when the alchemist shows up that there's a specific thing that you need to focus on that needs to be transitioned or moved on. You know what that is. I can't say it for you, but you know what it is. It should make sense to you that there's a ding, ding, ding. Yep. You know what? I've been thinking about, I needed to let this thing go. And for some reason I've been hanging on to it, or I've really wanted to go do this thing because it will change how this other thing happens. Same thing, right? There's an alchemy about that needs to be transitioned. So it's an active force of going and changing something into something that it needs to be that's going to be more efficient and effective for you. So keep your eyes peeled for it if it doesn't ring a bell, and look for that thing that's like, doesn't have to be big, that you can make an output of that thing better than what it is now.
All right, and I pulled the Lovers, and it's just telling me that a deep connection or reconnection with someone is important to pay attention to this week and to pursue if you feel is right. Of course not if it was someone from the past that was abusive or anything like that, but I'm getting that a deep connection or reconnection is important this week and will be a part of your life in the new future, an opportunity to explore, whether it be a past friendship. That smells really good.
It's jasmine.
Friendship, not necessarily romantic, but
like real jasmine.
Smells good. It's going to be very important for this deep connection to come about or to be revisited. Might be a family member or a friend.
Yeah. Very cool.
But you'll know it. When it comes about, you'll know it.
Thank you.
The Jasmina smells good.
Thank you, Tabati. Furry Rage, you are up next. Bjorn, I do charge certain things. I don't think I've ever used blood magic. I might actually try that sometime. I've used blood magic with coins. I have a lot of personal coins that I use for things, and one of them is a blood magic coin that, it's very like a medallion. I like trinket things, stuff like that. So that's probably where that is. So it's more for me, I think, than even the charging. I do a lot of charging in the moonlight too, whether it's a full moon or new moon, depending on what I'm doing.
That is so interesting. The card keeps coming up.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey.
There's some type of deep connection there.
And the interesting thing with the lovers, when it comes up multiple times, to me it means that there's a new synergy, which whatever it is that is a complementary thing to that thing, whether it's a love romance or not love romance or just friend or even work. It can be work.
You're welcome.
It's this intertwined significance that's going to fly up and go. Very cool. Yeah, charging I haven't really felt the need to do blood magic for. Might try it though. I've never done it with that. I've been a new mooner for charging, or like I said, I carry it with me. Keep it with me at all times. And kind of run it that way. But furry rage, that is furry.
I'm just clumsy.
Yep. Today.
Really? Watch it. So that's
There
a
we
cool
go.
card, whatever that is. That's
This is
nice.
another one of the additional cards. What does it call them? The
Furry animators?
The triptychs.
Triptychs.
They're called the triptychs cards. So this one is summon. Furry Rage needs to do some summoning. I would say there's something that you need to work through or summon or process to bring into a new piece, a new part. The summon card really comes up when active magic action is really necessary now. So I don't know why the push or why the need for speed on that, but it's just very clear it's time for you to do the thing that you were trying to do or summon. And I'm not talking like summoning the demons and the gods and stuff. I'm talking about summoning the energy and the magic about a thing that you're trying to do. Maybe you are working on something that you are trying to imbue power to, and you are doing blood magic with it. It's time to pull it and summon it and put those things together and manifest it. That's the summon card. If you are thinking about doing something even personal, like ritualistic with an item that you're making or something that you're creating or doing, it's good time to pull that energy up into it and summon into it what it is exactly what you want, and it will be an extremely powerful thing for you. Yeah. That's summon.
Summon?
I summon you.
All right. And Lightseer brings out 5 of Cups. You might already be thinking about something or may come up this week that, it just causes you pause or not sad, but on an emotional level I'm getting some thought and attention to. But it is not to turn into a negative experience. It's for reflection, it is for processing, and it is for learning. I don't get it's going to be anything major, but just you're going to kind of feel like kind of off balance maybe a little bit, and just to kind of to get you back in your thoughts and to pay attention to what's coming up.
Nice. Summon the neighbor. I believe that.
Summon my new forge and do my blood magic charging on it. Yeah.
Summon the neighborhood bear. Oh yeah, that would be a way. That's definitely.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Maybe that is what it is.
Maybe it could be.
Bjorn, I know you mentioned it. I didn't know if you were half mentioning it, but do you want to read before we close up shop? Let me know in the comments. Sorry, I'd do it. Be more than happy to pull a few cards if you want.
Oh, Betty was asking about.
Always feel off balance.
About the
That's
coins. Where'd she go? Oh, can we ask more about the coins? I'm super curious about that.
Yes.
To Betty.
Yeah, I'll come back to the coins. Hi, fun boy. Yes, we are still reading. Sorry, I missed your note in there, but yeah, we can pull a couple cards for you. You're right next then.
Oh yes.
Give it a minute for Bjorn to say. Okay, so Bjorn, we'll get your cards first, and then fun boy. Fun boy. Finney's a fun boy.
Finny is.
Bjorn, let's pull a couple cards for you and see what they say. If he gets anything that's in the Court of Swords, I'm gonna laugh.
Swords. Yeah.
Because those are the debate cards.
Ah, yeah. It's something.
The academics. All right. I haven't pulled any swords today. That's
I'm like
kinda
a
shocking.
book with no words.
There you go. And read the story the way that it goes, right? I'm learning to be a lot more in the present moment than I ever have been before. And an open book, a huge open book, a large book, a book full of all kinds of things, but it's blank, is a great brain thought for me because you just write the book as you go. Bjorn, what do we got for you today? What does ephemer say?
These cards were blessed by some dogs because they're chewed.
Knight of Cups. Not swords, Knight of Cups. So one thing I really like about the knights is they are the academics. They're the academicians. Academicians. And you'll hear me refer to that a lot when I talk about courts. You have your knights are the ones that have the knowledge. They've got the thing, the idea that they're talking about. And this is not like an overarching thing. This is a specific thing. The knowledge is there, and they have a lot of learned stuff, and the knight needs to then translate it into something else. So there's something you're working on, something you're thinking about, something that's relatively new to you that is you're taking kind of an academic look at, and it's time for you now that you know enough about it to translate it into a practice or experience of some sort. So knight always shows up when either we need somebody to kind of kick us in the butt to say, look, you can't just sit on this anymore. You got everything. Go. Right? So that's really what the knights do. And the Knight of Cups is no different. The Knight of Cups is different insofar as the topic, the subject, right? So where a Knight of Swords is going to be talking about maybe teaching or this knowledge base or this growth thing, the Knight of Cups is talking about an emotional application of something. So something is coming in, something is energizing you or coming about that's giving you feelings that you enjoy and you feel good about them. But now you've got to go out and do those things and experience what it is that you've learned. Maybe it's the stuff we were talking about earlier. I forgot what it was called. That, you're like, hey, I kind of understand this now. How's that going to change me? How's that going to make me feel? Actually have a process with it and spend some time functioning it and doing it. That's usually what a knight brings to the table. The other thing that it could potentially bring to the table for anybody is that there is somebody in your life that has the information that you are working to get, and you need to converse with them and kind of have that person come in. Knights, court cards are always people to me, often the person we're reading, but also can be external persons. So somebody that has that energy, that control energy around you in your circle of friends or your family might be there to provide you something emotional that's going to allow that growth of that next level thing.
All right. The Tower. If by choice or not by choice, an opportunity presents itself this week for a big shakeup and change, really consider going with that flow and making that change versus pushing back, fighting back, because it's going to happen either now or later. But it's for the good experience, to, like I said, just embrace it and go with it and learn from it, because it's going to make things, your life, your situation, your week, your time, whatever, better. You want your card back?
Thank you, sir.
I like that card. That's a really cool tower card.
That is.
You got the lightning, but you got the animals down there. They're kind of like looking up and they're like, what the hell's happening? But I guess we have no choice.
I hope that gives you some insight.
They're not
there.
Worried. Yeah.
Kind of.
Nothing to be worried about, though.
And Fun Boy, last read of the
Boy.
day.
Yeah.
See what cards say for Fun Boy. A day where there were 0 swords pulled.
Yeah.
How interesting is that?
Bye, Running. Have a
Bye,
good
Running.
day. Awesome. We got to see you soon.
Will do. We probably will
You're
go
welcome.
there later this evening, but it'll be very short. I would say 6, 7-ish, but we're not going to be there long. I'd say 30 minutes to an hour at the most.
Probably an hour, whatever.
Um,
Fun Boy. Oh.
Fun Boy has the Seeker. And thank you, Bjorn. That's great.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
By Renan. By Renan.
Your card is the Seeker. So this is again part of this deck. It is in addition to it is part of the major arcana in this deck, but it's in addition to some of the other traditional cards that has their special name. So this is representing the Seeker. It can also be kind of considered the Fool a little bit, or maybe a mix of the Fool and the High Empress, High Priestess. Sorry,
Yeah, she's beautiful.
It's a mix of those two, because this isn't just a foolhardy step. This is a directed step. This is an acute seeking of a thing. So what I'm getting is there is some bits and pieces that you might be thinking about considering and or doing, but there is some serious seeking that you are about to start or are already starting and looking for. And this is to give you an answer to a question that you have somewhere in your mind. So you're starting out on this kind of new thing. Maybe it's a different type of process. I can see this really being a social or spiritual thing, not work or something like that. This is different. This is really, really focused on like your here-ness, your presence in the world, your physicalness, your earthness. And it's seeking out the next thing, and maybe there's a little bit of fear to do it, or maybe it's different than what you normally do, but this is a full go ahead seek. Whatever it is you're thinking about and looking at, dive into that and learn more about it and figure out what it is it's trying to tell you. So seek smartly, and don't take shortcuts. When you are seeking the thing, do all the work that it takes to find, learn, seek, and move through it. And you're really going to come out with some new information in your head. Some new occultness will be revealed for you.
Cool. 10 of Pentacles. Take time this week to reflect on what you have, your possessions, however few or many, your job or your work, and be grateful for it. Show gratitude this week and realize that, like in our culture, we always kind of want more, whatever that is, of different things, but you are in a good place this week to look around at what you do have and really appreciate and enjoy it, and realize the value in that.
Yeah.
So, who knows, maybe maybe it means some more blessings will come, but I get really that it's just about taking stock of what you got and being happy and thankful for it this week.
I can see that. So yeah, I mean, that was a very fun read. I enjoyed doing those. I'm glad you guys told us about ourselves and told us we needed to do it. So we did. I gotta get a bag for this since somebody ate the box.
That would be BG.
Hope Funboy that gave you a little bit of information, and everybody, thank you so much. I really do enjoy doing the reads, and I'm glad we're doing them again. But that is it for today. Rook is going to do his favorite part, so we're going to transition that over. Give us a minute to open it up on our end, and he will continue with his most favoritist part that there is.
It is. We need some more peeps up here. All right. Thank you all for spending some time with us on your Sunday. I hope you have a great rest of the day and an awesome and safe week. During this week, if you can, please check out all of these awesome creators, witches and wonderfuls. Paranormal Witch on YouTube and Lady Rose 819 on Instagram. If you follow her on Instagram, you will see a lot of cool posts and blogs about all things supernatural, Wiccan, witchy, history. It's awesome. Unexplained Possibilities on YouTube and Unexplained Possibilities on Instagram. Usually goes live on Wednesdays nights. Follow him on YouTube and Instagram, and you will be in for a great treat with his interviews and tarot. Ziggy Dreadful on Twitch. Check out Ziggy on Twitch if she's playing a game you like. She's very engaged, and she might even ask you to join in. It's always a great time with Ziggy. Addie Estade on YouTube and most social media, who, along with Salann, this guy sitting here with me, do a Friday night podcast, Apocrypha, on YouTube at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And coming soon, oh God, I can't say it without laughing. Coming soon, content from Mystic Manny and Dragon Dancer. And we are the Two Pondering Pagans on YouTube and Facebook. Thank you so much for hanging out, and have a great day. Bye.